Charles Darwin has been one of the most important naturalists in history. He enlightened us with his theory of evolution, natural selection, and survival of the fittest. These theories had many opponents at first, but are now generally accepted. They not only explain the diversity of the animal kingdom, but also make clear-cut links between apes and humans. 2009 is the year of Darwin. This February 12th marks the 200th birthday of Charles Darwin and celebrates the 150th anniversary of the publication of his book, The Origin of Species. This documentary will honor his life and his achievements. In 1812, Darwin went to Edinburgh University to study medicine. But Charles quickly realized that he wasn't interested in studying medicines. He much rather spent his time studying nature and animals.
Oh, I'm tired of medicine. Do you know where I can find a nature study? That's far more interesting.
Um, well, I do know I'm going on a field trip. Do you want to come?
Yeah, great.
By 1926, Darwin had stopped his medical study and joined the Plinian Society, a group of students interested in natural history. Together with his classmates, he went on many field trips, where he was accompanied by Robert Edmund Grant, a famous anatomist and one of Darwin's teachers.
Me and my team have found some fossils. I've been thinking about the similarities between them.
What do you mean?
The species appear to have changed over time. What do you think about this?
I will look into that.
Dear students, over the last few years you have all attended Cambridge University. Some of your fellow students have failed, but due to your outstanding perseverance and clever thinking, you have made it through our exams and are now here to receive a grade of honor of receiving in Cambridge University. I will now read out the students' scores and names. If your name is mentioned, please come forward and enter the stage. You will then receive some personal comments and your diplomas. Well, let's start with the first student, George Taylor, who achieved an astonishing score of 94%. George, please come forward. Now, let's move on to the next contestant, John Fitzgerald. He has achieved an excellent score of 91%. John, please come forward. It's now time for a very special student, a person who has proven to be a devoted student and who has the potential to pay a great contribution to the scientific world. Charles, you have proven to be a very special student. Your score of 96% is one of the highest scores we have ever seen. Your devotion to science will one day make you a great scientist. With great pleasure, I hand you a Cambridge University diploma. Please come forward. Congratulations. are you English people doing here?
We're on a scientific expedition around the world on our ship, the HMS Beagle.
What are you investigating?
I'm interested in the similarities between different species of animals and the slight differences that occur within a species. I'm trying to find out what causes them and what they are good for.
What are you doing on the island?
I'm fascinated by the sea turtles on our island in this region. They all seem to be of same species, but they still differ from island to island.
That's true. Our fishermen can tell exactly what island a turtle came from, just by looking at its shape.
Oh really? Now how do they do that?
Each island has its own variety of the sea turtle. I'm not sure why.
That might be worth investigating.
Well, I've got to get back to work. I've got some cattle to breed. Good luck with your investigations.
Perhaps there's a meaning behind these sea turtles and their islands. Why would each island have its own variety? Did each variety pick its own island? There's no logical explanation for that. Then why does this species differ per island? Perhaps each island created its own species. But how? I'm curious to know what my professors will think about this when I get back to England.
Mr. Darwin, I've heard that you believe and spread the idea that animals evolve and adapt to their environments. Is that correct?
Yes, sir, that's correct.
Well, Mr. Darwin, I think that you are terribly wrong there. Or do you believe the Bible is telling nonsense? Because the Bible says that God created life, and not that some magical spell makes animals change into something totally different.
Dear Mr. Bishop, first, animals don't change into something completely different. They acquire minor adaptations so that they better fit their environment. Secondly, this happens from generation to generation, not in 1 second. It's not magic, it's natural selection. The better adapted animals survive, and their offspring have the same characteristics, so they survive too. While other species die because they aren't adapted enough. What did you say, Mr. Bishop?
Pay some respect to it, servant of God. Do you think our belief is built on a fairy tale?
I don't deny the truth of the Bible. I only try to help people to understand why some species get extinct and why other species survive. I don't say God didn't create mankind. I only say that God might help animals to adapt to their environments, because nature can't cope with the changes humans make in the environment.
I think you're being ridiculous, Mr. Darwin. Why would you question knowledge that has been here for thousands of years?
I don't question it, I improve and add to it.
How dare you improving the holy word? I'll let you show the real hand of God.
I think we should leave it at this, gentlemen.